This is episode 8 of my Essential Information series. This time it's going to be on cooking with kerosene on a Wick type stove. This is my Wick type Perfection 2-burner kerosene stove. You've seen me in other videos cook many things on it. Well, there's many other kinds of kerosene wick stoves, and I'm going to show you the ones that I own and how to cook on them. Here is a 3-burner wick stove. It's basically a kerosene lamp with a 4-inch wide wick, and they came in 1, 2, 3, and 4 burners. This one was made in 1893 by the Taylor and Bogus Company in Cleveland, Ohio. The next stove we'll be testing is the Perfection Ivanhoe 110. Next up is the portable Perfection 810. That uses a high power burner which is identical to what is in my stove. And then, because I see a lot of people trying to cook on a kerosene heater, not a stove, I'm throwing in my Perfection 260. And all the testing will be done on a original vintage Griswold No. 7 cast iron fry pan. We will be cooking many grilled cheese sandwiches today and eating them until we're sick of them. So let's get started. So the procedure for testing will be to take the Griswold No. 7 cast iron fry pan, put it on the burners or burner, let it warm for 5 minutes, then put the grilled cheese sandwich in the pan. Then we wait 2 minutes, turn it up so we can see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. Okay, this is at 2 minutes. Not a lot. And if you notice, it's just a hot spot in the center because that's the way the lamp stoves burn. A hot spot right in the center. It's not diffused. Okay, this is going to be at 4 minutes. It's a little better. I'm going to flip it back over and just run it just a touch longer. So you can cook on a single burner lamp stove. However, it is slow. Alrighty, 5 minutes. I think we're going to call it. Yeah. We're going to plate it and eat it and then go to number 2 burners. Then we're going to go to 3 burners, and then we'll go on to the other stoves. It's now time to test burners 1 and 2.
You can see how it smokes without the chimney. And then it's just like a large flat wick lamp. You turn it up too high, it will smoke. Like it is right now. Bring it down. You got to be careful of them. But this is 1890s technology. So now we're going to put our number 7 Griswold back on and set the timer for 5 minutes to preheat it. There's our 5 minutes. We're going to drop our sandwich on, and I would hope that with double the heat, it will cook much faster and better. Ah, sizzling instantly. And the pan was cold, so it definitely, the double the heat is helping. And when we get to the third burner, tripling may be better too. All right, it's been 2 minutes. I'm gonna flip it, see what we got. Oh yeah, much better. Darker brown, more even heat. 2 burners are definitely better than 1. It's been about a minute and a half, and I think with that extra heat, it's probably ready to be plated. Let me get the plate. I'll flip it and take a look. Oh yeah, you don't want to go any more than that. Whoa, almost lost it. Alrighty. So that is 2 burners. You can hear it tink, tink, tink. Set that off the side. Blow it out. Go eat the second sandwich and get ready for 3 burners. Okay, we've done burners 1 and 2. Now we're going to do all 3 burners. These lamp stoves, they came in 1, 2, 3, and 4 burners. Okay, there we go. Lock down. Get my head in the way here. Set the burners. This just barely fits. We're going to start the 5-minute timer. And we'll be back in 5. Okay, that is 5 minutes. This may be too hot. Well, that sizzle doesn't sound a whole lot more than 2. Well, we'll see. I know that the number 7 Griswold is not quite big enough for the 3 burners, but it's best I can do. There's a close-up of the 3 burners running at almost smoke. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes, and ooh, we're black. You can definitely tell that the 3 burners is much hotter. So I'm not going to leave that another 2 minutes. That's a little bit on the brown side. Probably another minute. We'll check it. Okay, been about a minute. Let's check it. Oh yeah, that is good enough. So it certainly looks like if all you had is a lamp stove and it was at least 2 burners, you could cook. I wouldn't say you could cook with 1, but definitely with 2 you could cook. So there we go, the 3-burner lamp stove. Next will be one of the Perfection round wicks. Next up is a Perfection Ivanhoe 110 portable stove. These were commonly called the long chimney burners because they used a tall chimney. So they were mostly used from around 1905 through, I think it was 1936 when the high power came out, but they were still sold with the Ivanhoes as a cheaper version right up through World War II and beyond. So we're going to light this one up and do our sandwich, see how it cooks. There we go. So we'll let that burn all the way around. Okay, we've got a nice blue flame. We're going to put the Griswold number 7 on and start the 5-minute timer. We'll be back in 5. Okay, there's our 5-minute mark. So we're going to put the grilled cheese sandwich in. I think I'm going to only let it go 1.5 minutes because this is a much more powerful burner. We'll check it at 1.5 minutes. There's 1.5 minutes. Going to see how we're looking. Oh yeah, and it's hot. So flip that over and leave that for about another minute. So as you can see, as we go up in power, it takes far less time to cook the grilled cheese sandwich. But you can get along on just those lamp stoves, as we saw in the first part of the video. If you've got a 2-burner lamp stove, even a 1-burner, you can cook. I'm not even going to leave that a minute, I don't think. And we'll get the blue flame. And then yeah, that's good. Put the pan on, and we'll wait 5 minutes like we've done before. Going to pull it and put it on the plate. And move the camera back. And I will just turn down the burner. And it's off. The next stove up is the Perfection 810. It is basically a single high power burner in a shroud that keeps the wind from affecting the burn. It's the same burner that you can find on post 1936 Perfection stoves, and they're still made today in Bern, Indiana. So we'll light this one up and warm it up. There we go. And we'll just let that warm up. When we get a good blue burn, we'll start our 5-minute timer. Okay, we have a nice blue burn. So I am going to put the Griswold on, except I'm only going to do it for 4 minutes because according to Perfection, the high powers, they have 30% more power than the tall chimney. So I'm going to go with 4 minutes and we'll see what happens. Okay, there is 4 minutes and I'm getting some smoke. So 4 minutes may have been too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run that for about, start my timer, about 1 minute and see what happens. Just about a minute. Pull that up. Oh yeah, that's ready to go. Flip that. So as you can see, it looks pretty good. And in 1 minute, with the high power burner, we had it. So I'm going to let that run just about another 30-45 seconds and then pull it. I think it'll be done. Yeah, that's been about 45 seconds. Check the other side. Yep, that's done. Take it off, put it on the plate. Slide this back. And then we'll just turn this down and out. There you go. That is a high power Perfection burner, or one of the new Swarts from Bern, Indiana. Okay, the final stove we're going to cook on is a Perfection heater, because I see a lot of people cooking on these things on the internet. So I thought I'd give it a try. This is a 260C. It's an old one from the mid-teens, I believe. So what we're going to do is going to fire that up and warm it up and do the same thing we've done before. There we go. And we'll let that warm up. Well, now that that is up to temperature, I'm gonna, if you notice, the damper is open to let the heat come up. I'll put the pan on, start the timer, and we'll wait our 5 minutes. Okay, there's our 5 minutes. So we're going to take our grilled cheese, put it on. I don't expect this is going to cook very fast. The burner is too far away from the pan. So I'm going to check it at 2 minutes and we'll see what happens. Okay, that's 2 minutes. I haven't heard any sizzle. What do we got? Nothing. Okay, come back in another 2 minutes. Okay, another 2 minutes. That's the 4 minute mark. Still nothing. The people on the internet that claim to cook on these things, they must have to spend an hour cooking, because it certainly, to me, looks like you can take an 1890 lamp stove with even one burner and it works better than a heater. A heater is a heater and a stove is a stove. Okay, there's 6 minutes. Can you hear the slight sizzle? Very little. All right. See what we got. Barely. So I'm going to go 1 more minute and then flip it and we'll see what we get. Okay, that puts us at 7 minutes. Fair. Okay. It's going over. Start the 2 minute timer and we'll be back in 2. Okay, this is 2 minutes on the other side. Let's see what we got. A little. Maybe it's going to take longer than 5 minutes to warm up the pan. But I had done 5 minutes for the others, so I had to do 5 minutes for this one. So we'll give this another 2 minutes. Maybe that'll be good. So there's another 2 minutes, so that's 4 minutes on the other side. And, well, it's barely. You could probably eat it. So I guess I'll just call it that's it. So 7 minutes on one side, 4 minutes on the other, with a 5-minute warm-up. Maybe it should have been 8 or 10-minute warm-up. But this goes to show you, you can't believe what you see on the internet. You can't really cook on one of these unless you're prepared to go for a long time. Where if you had just actual cook stove or one of the portable, a range or a portable, or even one of the old lamp stoves from 1890, it would work better than a kerosene heater, because a heater's a heater and a stove's a stove.
In 1919, the New York Tribune printed a test of a Perfection 2-burner stove, and they did a performance test where they took a quart of water and took it from 70 degrees to boiling. I was able to duplicate it, and on this graph you can see how I have graphed several burners. I did not graph the 3-burner lamp stove because the pot that I chose to do all my other testing isn't big enough to hit all 3 of those burners. And I have not done the heater because I think it's ridiculous to try to cook on a heater when you can use a kerosene stove. So with that, I hope that you got some valuable information from this video on how to cook with a Wick type kerosene stove.